Ninth Street, Louisiana, Tuesday, January 9th, 2018, 6 p.m. The meeting will be called to order by Mayor Bell. The invocation will be given by Alderman Kim Young. And we will have the pledge of allegiance in unison. Will you please stand? Father God, we just thank you right now. Lord God, and we just ask right now, Lord, that you just have your way in this meeting. Lord God, have your way in our lives. And Father, let us make this town a better place to live in, Lord God. And Father, we thank you right now, Father, for the citizens of this town, Lord. Bless them, Lord God. Prosper this town, Lord God, and everyone that has a hand in it, Father. And we just give your name praise in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Alderman Johnny Beecham.
Here.
Alderman Mary Dunaway.
Here.
Alderman Walker.
Here.
Alderman Darren Matthews.
Let the record reflect that Mr. Matthews is not here.
Alderman Kim Young.
Here.
Police Chief Frederick Dunn.
Let the record reflect that Police Chief Fred Dunn is not here.
Fire Chief Douglas Beecham.
Same thing.
Town Accountant Tim Butler.
Same.
Town Attorney Charles Griffin.
Same. Before we go to any changes or additions to the agenda, I'm going to ask everybody to just bow their head for a moment of silence. Mike Suter family, let's keep them in our prayers. Miss Evelyn and the rest of the family, that they will get through this and God will keep them and cover them in their hour of bereavement. Thank you.
Good, yeah, son, Billy. Okay.
Okay.
I know his wife found him on the kitchen floor when she got up.
At this time, I will entertain any changes and or additions to the agenda. Will there be any changes or additions to the agenda? For you, Mr.
I'm surprised. Now, whatever I have, I'm going to bring up whenever they do the maintenance report.
Okay, that's fine. Mr. John, you have anything?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Kim?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, at this time, I will entertain a motion for disposition of the minutes of our previous meeting dated December 12th, 2017, along with the public hearing of our 2018 proposed budget.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes of December 12th and the public hearing of the 2008 proposed budget and regular meeting. I make a motion that we approve it.
So moved by Alderman Kim Young, second by Alderman Mark Kemp. As far as the disposition of the minutes of our previous meeting to include the public hearing of our 2018 proposed budget. Are you ready to vote?
No.
No.
No, because I've just read, so I have a question. Can I ask a question before we approve? I just know that when we talked about the zoning commission, there were people that hadn't been in touch with to make sure that they had all five members, so that has happened since then.
It's on the agenda for today.
Okay.
Ready to vote? Mm-hmm. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is there any opposition? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. At this time, Mr. Chad Davis, will you come to us this time? You can, I'm quite sure you have the proposal
Well, yeah, I have a few things I'd like to share with you.
Okay, that's
Like
fine.
me up here, or-
Wherever you feel comfortable at.
I mean, it's totally up to y'all, so.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, thank you, Mayor, Members Council again. I'd like to kind of recap. I know it's been a couple months, I guess, since I spoke to y'all. I think the first time we came here, we talked to you about technology, updating your water metering system to a cellular type technology to do a couple things to increase your revenue, to replace your older meters out in the field, also to help your internal business practices and give your customers more customer access to their exact usage and bill kind of through technology. So again, I'm Chad Davis. I own the company Utility Metering Solutions out of Hammond, Louisiana, and we do this type of work all over the country. Again, I guess just to recap, I'm not locked to a technology. We help the cities, utilities find the right technologies, install it, integrate it into your billing system, and help you get your customers hooked up and tied in and trained on new technology. So that was kind of our, I guess, kind of my first presentation. And then I think in the first presentation, there's a feasibility study that I presented to y'all. There's some utilities that want to go out and verify. I think that y'all chose that. Y'all realized y'all had older meters that was inaccurate and did not want to spend the money. And Mayor, you asked me at that time to put a proposal together. So what we've done some due diligence. I went online, I grabbed y'all's audited financials offline and actually built my spreadsheet with, which we normally do. I had some staff actually meet with Daryl and some of his guys, and they went out in the field and really took a good look at your system. From my first meeting, I knew y'all had about 900 active accounts. I worked with, I think it's Sharon. Okay, thank you. Got in touch with your billing system, your CIS provider. Actually got a download of all your accounts for, accounts, addresses. So we started looking at that. In your billing system, it does not show us what size meters you have at each address or account. Okay, so that's always kind of a struggle for us as we go to try to put a proposal together. So we sent I sent a guy here, like I said, for a couple of days to work with Daryl, went and looked at all your larger facilities, your commercial businesses, facilities where we think there's larger meters. The reason for that is a larger meter costs more money than a residential meter. So I think we've done our due diligence there. We found about 15 2-inch meters that are larger meters. And 10 1-inch meters. So out of your 900 active accounts you have, we feel pretty comfortable. I'm saying pretty comfortable. We spent 2 days here really looking at your larger meters and kind of looking at your infrastructure too. We found a lot of your meter boxes that are bad. They're cracked from customers in the past, and it seems like you are experiencing, I guess, the same problem that a lot of other cities did kind of during the flood. You have a lot of meter box lids that have floated off. We have a lot of cities, that have that effect. So basically we built in this proposal. We have about 200 new lids, 50 new boxes. Kind of built in the proposal with the size meters that we are anticipating that we're going to run into. So out of 900 meters, there was 875 residentials, the 10 1-inch, and the 15 2-inch. And what I did for you today is actually I gave you, and I'll discuss this in a second. So Badger has two different type meters. And let me pass this out first, and then we'll kind of discuss that as well. I'll kind of explain this. I'll explain the spreadsheet as we go through it. Thank you. Sir, you need one as well?
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure. Yes, sir.
Most residential meters are 1 inch?
They're 5/8, 5/8 3/4 is what they call it.
Okay.
Some may be 1 inch. I've had the residential meters, it's been 2 inch before. Somebody that has a bigger house and a pool, maybe that's what they requested,
Oh, okay.
actually from the city, but historically, most of them are 5/8 3/4, which is your standard residential meter. So, I have 2 pages here. So the front page, if you read the top, it says E-Series meter, and the second page says M25 meter. So just so we're clear, both of these are Badger meters. The E-Series meter is a 20-year, 100% warranty meter. Okay, and these meters actually, they came out probably about 3 or 4 years ago, and we're finding a lot of utilities that are buying them because they have a 20-year, 100% accuracy warranty. Okay. The second page is the type of meters that you're buying today, which is a good meter. It's called a mechanical meter. It's a brass meter. They have a 5-year, 100% accuracy warranty, and then the next 5 years go to a 95.1% accuracy warranty. So, I guess kind of the easiest way to say it is, look at a flip phone and look at a smartphone. The M25 meter, which is a mechanical meter, it works. It's going to be accurate. I'm not going to say at year 8, 9 that it's not going to be 100% accurate, or 99 or 98. They hold up a long time. It's just depending on the quality of water that you have and what runs through it at the end of the day. So I just kind of wanted to make that clear. So the first page, which is the higher price of $453,000, and if you look at the second page, it's $395,000. So the difference is the cost of that meter. Okay, just a meter pot. Technology, the transmitter is the same for both meters. So let me kind of explain this, kind of the spreadsheet, I guess to you at this point. So the far left is project cost. That's everything I just displayed. That's all the meters, that's all the installation, that's all the integration, that's the boxes, the lids. I think that's it. So as you kind of go down from the left to right, I took in green right there is your annual water and sewer revenue. I grabbed off your audited financials. And I use a 10% inaccuracy of your meters in the ground right now. A lot of your surrounding, actually, cities and utilities, the water utilities are ranging. I can show you some studies. We've pulled meters, we've tested meters. They've had rural water come in. It ranges between 13 and I just had one about y'all's size, and it just kind of reminds me of y'all, that came in at 42. Rural water came in. They did a random sampling, which is kind of what we like to do because you want to take all meters of different age groups and different subdivisions. That was kind of high, so they came back in. Utilities, they wanted to come back in, and they tested it at 43% as they did another random sampling. So I guess kind of cities around you I'm working with, city of Walker is in the high 20s, just as we have pulled some sampling meters. So I plugged 10% in there. I think to I think 10% is a safe number. You may want me to increase that or lower that. I just kind of did this.
But this is saying you think we would get at least a 10% improvement
Yes, ma'am.
at the minimum.
Yeah, but 10%,
Okay.
yeah. So if you look at that number, they just kind of go down. That's about $43,000 a year. So that's in column A. If you jump over, I guess, to the next column up front, it says water meters at 900 included in this. So the next number you may agree with or disagree with. So I like to kind of talk about that number, that 58,500. So I've worked with Sharon and the staff, and basically with new technology. So what that is, so what that number is based off of, is y'all do about 15 rereads a month and about 40 disconnects on an average month. Okay, so what AWWA says that it costs a utility $75 to go do a reread or a disconnect. Okay, so what they say is when I don't pay my bill, you have to send a notice out, and then it goes to Daryl. I'm assuming he sends the guy out, the water meter's turned off, and just to pick the internal. Yeah. So they state that it costs the city actually $75 to go do a reread or a disconnect. So that's where that number comes from. So I took the 15 and the 40, which is 65, times 75 a month, times 12. So that's where the 58,000 actually come from. Talking to staff and Daryl, y'all have a stock of meters that y'all have in stock. Normally, most utilities, they budget X amount for newer meters, meters that just die or don't register anymore. So there's zero actually in that box. So if you look at them two numbers, that 58,000 and that 43, if you look in column E, that's your total benefit. So just by them two numbers, that's $102,000 a year that you can increase by adding technology and adding new meters to, because your inaccurate meters and your efficiencies here in the office. So you may ask, okay, how's technology going to help me do this, right? So the new meters actually talk on the cellular network, just like your phone, and it goes to a hosted database, which y'all would have access to, So you'd have an icon, just like you go to the internet now, and it would have all your information. It would show your 900 meters. It would show, if they're all communicating or not, or if there's a problem with them. Let's say somebody calls in and they're complaining about their bill, right? My bill's too high. So what y'all do today is, I'm assuming y'all do this today, since y'all are manual read meters. If I come in, I'm complaining about my bill, then there's a work order. You probably send Daryl or somebody out to get the read. If the read comes back the same, there's no way to show me that to what's happened over 30 days. So with technology, these new meters, they take a snapshot every 15 minutes of your usage, every 15 minutes, and then it sends that information up once a day, which it populates your hosted website, so you'll be able to see what's working and what's not. As a customer comes in, you can do a date range for him or her. You can show exactly what time their leak started, how many gallons it was a minute, and how long it lasted. The big thing with this too is you give your customers access to this too. Everybody now is working off their phones. I know, I run my electric app, off my phone. I can tell when my lights are off and on as I travel. That's kind of where, communities are going. So you have that access or that ability to tie all your customers in as well. It don't cost you anything to do that. as well. So give them access to their usage, show them snapshots, send them alarms, so they can kind of budget and kind of see what they use as well on a daily basis. So, so what we've done is, I want to kind of jump over, I guess, to the far right. So, so I have that project cost there, which is a financed amount. Most of these programs will set up a lease purchase, for 10 years. And why we do 10 years is if you go with the 20-year meter, you still have useful life, the next 10 years with it.
So this means installing them gradually over 10 years?
No. This is coming in and doing everything at one time. So we would come in, buy the meters, install the meters, integrate everything into your billing system, work with Badger, get your web portal, everything set up, and help you set up your additional customers that won't have access to their usage.
And does our current system have enough memory, all RAM and all that's required to run this program?
Yes, very good question. So let me tell you how that works. So your system here will not change, okay? So the billing system that you run today works. I'm assuming you're happy with it. So there's no change here. So how you do business today is you send folks out, you gather the readings on your 900 meters, you come back, and it's either a handheld docs or it's punched in manually, and your bills go out. So what happens with the technology is this Badger technology here is reading these meters every 15 minutes, so you have all up-to-date stuff, okay? So what happens is when Sharon or somebody goes to bill, they set a date range, okay, I want to bill from the 1st to the 1st, or 1st to the 30th. It sends a file over in the Badger Beacon. It grabs them accounts during that time frame and just pulls the readings back in. So it just does that, just do a file transfer. That takes a couple minutes. So you can bill all your customers now in a couple minutes by grabbing it. But I guess the biggest benefit is, is staying on top of your customers when maybe they damage something or, or your business processes or trying to get your customers to access their own, to view their own research. So, so that what I'm seeing interest rates right now, kind of depending on your credit, is running somewhere around 3.5. So I just kind of plugged the number in there. I'm checking your credit as you speak, kind of through a couple lenders that we use that we have a lot of success with, and plus the ones that we've been using, we found to have the lowest interest rate to help you as well. So let me just kind of explain, I guess, the software number, the 16,000 number on the far right. So what that is Badger charges 89 cents per meter per month to give you all this hosted database. They back up all your, all your customer information. So that's kind of their yearly cost to host, to store all your readings and all your information. Part of that price too is for us, I guess, to stay engaged with you if you choose to. A lot of utilities, after they get technology, we kind of install it, everything's working, we sign off everything and we leave, and then they have this new technology and they're having to kind of rely on their distributors for help. We're finding where newer technology, they're wanting us to stay engaged and help them understand and work on their system and different things like that. So that's what the $16,000 is for. So if you wrap all that up, it's going to cost you about $6.59 per meter per month to do this whole program that I just spoke about. okay? What I've seen other utilities do, so this is just a utility choice. So as they add technology and they give their customers this access, I've seen other utilities charge for that, okay? And they call it a technology fee. Energy does it on your light bill, if you want access, a lot of people do it. I've seen some utilities, they'll take half that number and say, okay, I'm going to charge my customer $3 per meter per month to give them all this access to their information. I have some that don't choose to do it at all. It's like, hey, I know my meters are old, I'm providing a service, it is what it is. I do have a utility here in Louisiana, about y'all size, that took the whole number and says, I'm passing it on actually to my customers because I need to upgrade my meter. So that's your choice at the end of the day.
I'm sorry.
So you're probably asking, any questions at this point, I guess, with the $6.59 per meter per month, okay? So from the information that I have on the spreadsheet, like the 10% and the 58,000, if you add that up and just kind of divide that, if you take that 659 and that 286, that's what you're actually losing per meter per month right now. Okay, so that's roughly about $9, and let's call it $9.50. I'm just kind of rounding numbers up. So what the $2 is basically, if you implement the program, you're going to be pocketing $2.86 to the plus each month, which adds up to $30,000 a year, which is in column I right there.
Okay, back up, where did you get the $9 and such?
If you add the 6 and the $2, the last two on the right, so just for information on this spreadsheet, to implement actually the program is $6.59, but you're according to the 10% number and the 58,000 number, you'll be pocketing the extra $2, and that's a little confusing sometimes. A good question as well. Any other question? That's kind of, Mary, that's kind of what you asked me to put together.
Yes, sir.
And, I give some further breakdowns. I just wanted to kind of present, I guess, a high level thing. I guess kind of what we're waiting on right now is my financial guys to come back to say that y'all have good credit and here's the rate. It might be, I just got a customer at 2.5 here before the holiday, so I don't know. I put 3.5 in. I think we're good at 3.5. It may be a little lower, and we can adjust the spreadsheet at that time.
If we did this, how long would it take to implement it for the town?
Okay, good question. If you said actually go today, okay, it would take us about 6 weeks, I guess, to get the meters in, because what happens, we got to order the meters, they get made, they go through provision, around that takes, during that 6 week period, we get with your billing company in Badger and start working on the integration part of it. Okay, so once that's done, that normally takes about 2 months. At that time, we've got the meters in, we're installing the meters. Our guys will get these meters in, and probably 4 weeks, 6 weeks max. So we can get all the meters installed, all the new boxes, all the new lids. Basically commission the system, make sure everything's working, do the software training. There's going to be a couple different software trainings. There'll be one for staff, one for field. But additional training, if required. So I would say 3.5 months from when you say go to when, I should be able to hand the keys over to you and say, okay, we're done, prove that it's done, to making sure that all your bills are going out correctly, all your customers are not getting, all kind of crazy bills, which they should not. We work with you and say, yes, sir.
Dumb question, because I wasn't here on part of the discussion before. This is strictly water meter.
Yes, sir, it is.
So the gas meters are having to read now, that still have to read unless y'all have something to go with that.
Okay. I didn't know we had gas here, so.
There's a whole gas system that's,
Okay.
they have to read and do rereads on and all that.
Do y'all handle gas meters?
Yes, we do. We do the water, gas, and electric. We just kind of, and street lights that we tie into technology like this as well. So.
Oh, well, how many gas meters it is, I will say,
Not as many,
I want to say 300 to 400, but I'm not
Is it?
sure.
I know it's 400 or less.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I want to do the gas, so let me talk about the gas real quick, okay? So I'll talk about water, gas, and electric. Water is the easiest to deal with. We deal with all three. Electric is second. On electric and gas, we like to go survey each one of the gas meters because they're all different brands, ages, and model numbers. And the transmitters do not fit.
They don't fit everywhere.
Right. It's not a universal one where I can buy one and say, I'm going to put it on all four of them. So,
They should be pretty standard, the gas meters here, listed along with residential ones.
yeah, but you probably have different ages where that
Yeah.
index,
There's gonna be some different.
yeah, it takes a different index that's going to, that should go into it. Unless you want to replace all of them, and that makes it easier because we can buy one gas meter and have electronics on it. But, so we're actually doing the same system, I guess, for the city of Thibodeau right now. They had about 6,000 water and about 4,500 gas. So we can do that. If you want to tie the gas into it, I would recommend that we need to do a survey. There's a site survey. I need to get my engineers actually get with Badger to see what gas meters can be retrofitted and which ones need to be changed totally out. Because there's going to be some that are going to be so old that they don't make a retrofit model for, and we have to buy a new gas meter.
So they have a transmitter on the gas meters, similar to what the water meters would
They
be?
change out the register.
Yes, they're a little different. Yes, so you would.
What did you read would come off of that meter and another one there would go on.
Yeah, so what happens is, yes, so you take the register off, you put the electronic one on, and then the old register goes back on electronic. So you can still read it manually, and it will talk to the system as well. So let's talk about gas real quick. So gas cannot be connected to the cloud, or it cannot talk on the cellular network.
No.
They don't have a gas meter out, any manufacturer out there, they don't have a cellular gas module out. So what we did for Thibodeau is we put a drive-by and got them a computer where their water is all talking on the beacon system. It takes snapshots every 15 minutes. They turn their water off. They can do all that. Gas, and you're going to have to load it from your billing system once a month and throw the computer in the vehicle and go drive.
That's still better than getting out and reading.
Sure. I mean, there's a lot of safety there, not getting bit by
So
dogs.
basically you shoot a gun to it, such to get the reading?
You put an antenna on the car or truck, and there's a laptop that goes in, and you drive down the road 30, 40, 50 miles an hour, and it's kind of like a Pac-Man game. It's going to ding as it's picking up the readings as you're going down the road. It'll show you the ones that it didn't get. You might have to back up and, drive in the driveway or something. But for the most part, you can stop at the stop sign and probably read 100 yards in all four directions.
Okay.
So that's how we could handle the gas. So I apologize. I didn't know y'all had gas, but
Yeah.
I can definitely update the proposal. We can talk about gas if you'd like. The gas needs to be actually surveyed And then gas modules are 4 to 5 months out. Gas is kind of a unique animal. So if you want to look at this as one program or 2 programs, we can look at it either way for y'all. It's y'all's decision.
Yeah, but does the gas system help you identify leaks and such?
No, it will not.
But we have them.
Yeah, it does not today.
It just expedites the readings. You can
Yes.
ride by and just.
Well,
get some
yeah, you don't have to really send anything out.
time.
Right, exactly.
Looking at. And when you finish, let's say we did this and you finish your training and all, we have a new service that needs to be connected. Do y'all have to come back out or Daryl and them can do that?
You don't have to do it. We'll do the training. I say you buy some extra meters, or whoever the distributor is, which is Cobra Supply right now, they would supply you the new modules and the, as you grew and, added subdivisions or added services. That's correct.
What if you have a service no longer needed? Do you just leave a meter there for an event that somebody may come along, or just you can remove them easily?
Yes, if you can remove them, I recommend that you leave them. On the new software, you can do a soft disconnect on it. So let's say I have 10 customers that are moving out. I do a soft disconnect. So these 10 meters show up in this file every morning. So they're set to, I shouldn't have any usage on these 10 meters. If they get usage, it alarms you on the system that one of these 10 meters that have a soft disconnect right now are using water.
Yeah, something's going on.
Right, something's going on, so you can recognize it that way as well.
So if you get a list of soft disconnects, you can go in and really just turn them off to where they won't work.
Correct.
Is there any way to bypass, let's say somebody's being dishonest?
When you take the meter out, you'll get an empty pipe alarm on that meter. So let's say I was trying to steal water from you. So I had one of these meters, I go take the meter out and I put a jumper in, right? It's going to flag that meter and it's going to come up on your saver system. So the next morning, so when Daryl gets here or one of the staff, it's going to show an empty pipe alarm on that address and that account where you go address it.
Somebody tapping into the line, huh?
Well, if they tap in, on the city side, it's hard. You can't. It's hard
I'm
to
talking
prove
about
it.
it, let's say we disconnected mine because I didn't pay my bill.
Mhm.
And if I found some way to bypass, they would have an alarm.
If it went through the meter, again, if this is a meter and I tap it on this side and no water is going through the meter, it's probably not much.
Well, I guess the average Joe,
Right. No. I mean, we see a lot of things, so very good questions you're asking here.
Any other questions for?
So do we need or want him to do a proposal on gas, or we just need water at this time, or so? What do we want to do?
is it easier to do gas and water at the same time?
We would do them separately anyway, just because of the lead time on the gas modules. It'd probably take us a couple of weeks to survey it, and probably take us a couple more weeks to, engineer the to get the right modules for that meter, present it back to y'all, saying, okay, out of these 400 meters, there's 300 we can retrofit. There's 100 that we need to change out. We need that kind of information.
I think it'd be nice to know because otherwise we're going to have to send whoever goes out to read meters to still read meters for gas.
Sure.
It won't be as much time also.
You get a discount if you do Tues?
I wish I could. It's 2 separate systems, actually.
Aren't you the owner?
I am the owner.
Or you can do whatever you want.
I still have to purchase it. So I don't make these modules, so.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yes.
I guess the next step here with this, we have the numbers to see what the financing would be.
Yes.
What the
interest rates would be.
we would get, and
Yes.
then we can make a decision. How soon you think you would get that
I would
information.
think I'm gonna get that back this week.
This week
I
before
sent it
the
off
next
actually
month's
before the
meeting.
holidays, so.
I don't know. One other question, right now.
And we can go through your local bank too, but we've seen a lot of local banks actually be a lot higher than, actually folks that, that do these type of municipal loans, but more than happy to go through your local bank as well and get a proposal. I'm sorry.
Your fee for software and services, the 16,000,
Mhm.
let's say, is that paid each month, or is it a one-time payment each year, or you spread it out across?
It can be done either way. It can be
You're
a
okay
monthly
with whatever?
thing, or it could be a yearly thing as well, yeah.
Okay.
And the Badger does not carry either as well, so we can set it up at the beginning to how you would,
Okay.
how you'd like to see this. A lot of these lease purchase, actually, they finance firms that we work with. Some cities actually want to defer their payment, for a year. We can do that as well. We can come in here, implement everything, get finished. You can see the annual revenue. Some want to do that, some do not. So I'm just going to kind of throw that out there. I mean, in my mind, it goes 11 years instead of 10 payments. But
You repeating?
yeah, but some utilities just want to, build that bank of
We could
revenue.
pay that easily if we're expecting our minimal improvement to be 10%, that's approximately 43,000 a year
Yes, ma'am.
in that first column.
Mhm.
At the end of the year, still have. Okay.
And just from your office efficiencies, I know you're not going to lay anybody off, but that 58 is more of your, internal efficiencies, to your customer.
Okay. With other municipalities, has it improved their collections the past two accounts? Can you say?
I cannot answer that question. I know what it has improved is, is there a proactive approach to their customers instead of reactive with technology. As they walk in, they can show them now. If you had this technology, let's just say on my house, right? So as people come in, they start looking at their usage. Okay, yeah, I do get up at 6 o'clock in the morning because there's a little water movement, and then I go to work for 8, and then I come back at 5:30, and then at 2 o'clock in the morning I got a little water usage too. So they really can say, okay, it does work, and I mean, I do get it at this time. I get up in the middle of the night, use the rest of it, just things of that nature. Another important thing, there are some disconnect meters, and I took, y'all share with me, Mayor, there's about 40 disconnects a month. I'm assuming it's probably repeat offenders. It normally is. So we could put a remote disconnect meters. I didn't explain that, I'm sorry. I have 40 remote disconnect meters built in this proposal right here, because I got the 40 from you earlier. So what happens, instead of sending the truck out there, so we would put them on the repeat offender. So when they wouldn't pay their bill, you're not rolling Daryl or crew out, you're hitting a button. It's sending the command out, it turns it off. So that always, so the turn off always leads into another question, okay? So what Badger has, it's two different offs, okay? So there's 100% off, and then there's I forget what it is, it's a crack off, okay? So what it does, it allows somebody to at least get a cup of water if they're taking medicine. So there's no lawsuits or anything against the city. You're not turning them all the way off. You're turning them off. They can't bathe. They can't run a dishwasher. But there's a drip of water to take. To take medicine if need be. So that's y'all's choice. If you turn them all the way off, or you strip them down to 98% off. Would probably be the easiest way to say it.
And what's the cost difference in a regular meter versus one with that feature?
They're about $200 difference more. So the city of Franklin, Louisiana, the mayor chose, mayor you probably know, I'm assuming the mayor of Franklin. He has about 3,200 services. He wanted remote disconnects on all of his customers because he says, I'm tired of dealing with them.
I know.
I personally think it's an extra cost for something. I mean, for somebody like me that pays my water bill, is it worth the 200? You know, is it worth $200 more a meter?
For everybody.
Yeah, for everybody. I don't feel like it is, but he felt that it was, so that's what we installed for him. And he's happy, and I'm happy. So you know, it's your call at that point. I guess I should have brought that up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
On a regular meter, if they were to go out and disconnect, how do they disconnect?
Or
Or how they turn it off, lock it down, whatever?
well, they'll turn it off actually from the computer.
No, I'm not talking about with that feature.
The way they do it today. So the curve stop and everything stays. So they can still lock that off. That does not change at all.
Oh, okay.
So if the system broke for some reason and you still have to go lock the customer off, you still do it the same way you do it today.
Okay.
Turn them off, lock it
Yep.
out, dig the meter up, dig the water line up on some of them.
Yep.
Yes, they're very crafty.
I really don't know how often that happens. I didn't like
I've done it.
well.
I'm assuming on these 40 that y'all will mainly go out, turn them off every month.
And
lock
those
them off.
40 are included in this proposal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. If y'all want more, then we can add more, or you can take them out, I can take them out as well.
Now, if somebody was outfitted with a traditional transmitter and they became a problem, or let's say they moved and it's a rental property and we have new customer who is less than desirable as far as paying their bill, would Daryl and them be able to switch out that transmitter?
Yeah, they can take the whole meter out, because you want to take the whole meter out. The transmitter would probably stay with the account.
Mhm.
You change out the regular meter to a remote disconnect meter, and just plug the transmitter back into
And
it.
then you can take a remote one from another one and just move it to another
Yes, you
station?
can.
Okay.
So say we have these 40 problem childs out there right now, and 10 of them, maybe they move and there's new residents in and they're paying their bill, you could take them 10 and go move them. You need to change it in your billing system and in the Badger system so they sync back up, so they know where that meter is on what account.
That sounds good.
Very good questions as well.
How long is the
service?
software training? Like for commissioner and?
It can be as long as you need. It's going to be a 3-day deal, is what they call it, but they split it up. I mean, so they'll do some field, they'll do sharing and them, they'll do it combined. So there's webinars too that are free, like afterwards. I find a lot of customers. I'm one of them as well. I mean, you can show me a bunch of things, but until I touch it and feel it and use it, I don't get it 100%. So there'll be, there's additional webinars. We have guys that are trained that will come in here too at no cost after the fact too. So
That was my question.
Right.
So
We wanna make sure that-
technical support.
right, yeah.
It's all done.
Yeah.
Okay.
You actually have us and you have the distributor, which is Cobra Supply. That's their duty.
Okay, I don't have any other questions from anybody else. Have anything else, we can wait and see what the finance rate is, and then by that time next month, at our next council meeting, we'll know what the decision is of the board, and we can move forward with whatever the decision is.
Would you like me to kind of put a gas?
You can, yes, sir. Get with us.
Just kind of
That's
a
kind
yes, just kind of
yes,
high
yes,
level
and
price, I guess, for
Yes.
our
Yes.
our next meeting as well, and I'll put that together for you. It's kind of the same way as well.
Sounds
To just let y'all know as well, gas meters do not become as inaccurate as gas meters or as water meters. Gas meters, you might have a gas meter that's 20, 30 years old that's still 99% accurate. So we have a lot of studies. That's why a lot of people are retrofitting their meters. Gas meters just do not have to fall off like water meters do. So just information for the staff.
Alright,
Good. Well, thank you.
thank you. Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Thank y'all. I will see y'all next month. Can I bug out?
Just give me a call.
Matt? Okay.
All right, yes, go ahead. Thank you. Have a good night.
What do you got?
All right.
Okay. Moving right along, we'll move right down to the maintenance department. I think Mr. Cooper has something to say about that.
Yeah,
Maintenance.
In the report, it says that they have been patching potholes. Which streets are they patching potholes? Because on Oak Street, they haven't patched the one. And on Taylor Street, I know they're wet, so I don't think they can really patch those. But they haven't been patched, and they haven't fixed the water leak. And so I just don't understand where they're patching. Do y'all know?
Miss Ann, do you know where I know they've been out patching.
Where I ain't seen one patch.
They've been patching. I can't say exactly where. Do you know where they went?
Not exactly.
Because
Well,
one day I called and they were out
yeah.
patching. I don't know where.
Well, on Oak Street, they hadn't done any. There's several spots. Down on Bank Street, they haven't done any.
Church Street, nothing.
Oh, okay, yeah, down there by the Episcopal Church.
From the Episcopal
Yeah.
Church all the way to town.
What street do you live on down here? What's the,
Railroad.
yeah, when you go make that curve, because I was down there today. I mean, the streets down there are bad.
Yeah, right there at the intersection of Clarence and Wilson, it's horrible. A
Yeah.
lot of them, it's
So I don't know where they're patching.
It's horrible.
I hadn't seen it.
Street my way is bad too.
They're on down there.
Because
I
I
mean,
know one day I
think
called for
all
something,
over.
somebody called for about a leak or something was going on, and they told me that they were out patching, and I didn't ask for it, I feel myself.
If they need somebody to ride around and point them out, I don't mind riding. But I mean, they come. Yeah, they come to the water well, which is off of Taylor Street, every morning at least. And unless they got a hoverboard or something, they're having to hit the potholes. But those are the ones that have water in them. But and there's for a while no rain and water in the streets, so it's coming from somewhere. So and they worked on a water leak right there before you get to where that warehouse was, or is.
On Taylor?
On Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm kind of thinking maybe it's leaking again there.
Sometimes they do it. Sometimes
Well, they just need to come in and
Do
try to
they
fix
work
it.
off of a work list and work orders every day, or do they just show
They're supposed
up?
to have work orders.
Just have work orders every day?
Okay, once they complete them, do they turn them into y'all?
They turn them in to, Ursula picks them up down there. And then,
Maybe there's some kind of communication issues, I'm not sure. And then we've been talking for months about the fire hydrants. They're on Taylor Street, there's 1, 2, maybe 2 that are leaking. We were told that they had to order some, and this is back in the fall. And then I was told that they got them, but they hadn't fixed them yet. And up on Old South Drive, around the house that Jeffrey and them have, it's been leaking for months, and it's one of those little small water.
Red and silver ones.
Yeah, and I mean, you can visibly see it leaking, and they have yet to fix it.
It's
Yeah,
like
we're
that
not-
deep when you step in it.
What?
And how about the one on Bank Street right by police jury office?
By the old Clinton High School?
Yeah, still
Yeah.
going.
I haven't noticed it's still leaking, but probably it is.
Well, that's because it's not going in the road anymore because they dug a little ditch and it's staying in the ditch.
Right.
But it's still leaking.
Yeah, we talked about that one.
And that was because they needed a new meter. I
But
mean, a
that's,
new
yeah, that's what they
hydrant.
told me on Taylor Street.
But are the hydrants, we have the hydrants now?
I was told we did. I don't know. You know,
I think we have it to be
3?
2 or 3.
think because they already had one already in stock and they ordered 20.
So they still in the warehouse somewhere.
I'm sure it's a big to-do to change out one, I would think,
It is, but they'll be working Friday night, this Friday night
on the ones downtown.
on this one here because, they were doing those Sunday mornings and the church was without water, so they're trying not to inconvenience any customers. We're not gonna actually put in that fire hydrant, the State Department DOT has contracted that out, and they're gonna be,
Both of them, or
but I know this one right here when I talked to Ms. Jones, right here by,
Crawford Court.
Clerk Court. And I don't know about that one on the hill, but I can make contact with her tomorrow, but they're gonna do that Friday night and see what's going on. Miss Angie, you got those notes, baby? Okay.
Well, they, up on Taylor Street, they said it's the fire hydrant. I don't know how they know that because the water is bubbling away from the fire hydrant. And maybe, I was thinking maybe it's the pipe, the supply line. But, of course, I'm not a maintenance person.
It's not running out the top of the meter?
Nope.
Not bubbling up by the side of it?
It's like if you have the meter here, it's bubbling out over here.
Okay. I need
So
some
for a work order to get to them, as a citizen, I can call into this
Ms.
office
Sharon, this office.
and ask for a work order to be issued to the maintenance department, then who issues that to them?
You just call Miss Sharon and she'll take it from there and let her know what it is that you're
Well,
calling about.
maybe we hadn't gone through the right process of that because who has been,
Sometimes, I can truly say that sometimes, I will get a phone call, and I would get a phone call and they would say, well, I talked to Darren, I talked to whoever about this, and they haven't done this yet. I'll call Darren and say, well, so-and-so called and said, did they talk to you about this, what
so
happened?
the proper
And something,
procedure is to call
sometimes-
here.
Because when Miss Sharon gets it, she documents it, and that way I know that someone has called and that it has got to them. And they
So it's kind of up to everybody, so I should call and say, Church Street is horrible, we need some holes filled. I mean, I bet I could go down Church Street and count, and I bet there's 25.
I'm
You
quite sure.
try to dodge them,
Right, because
and you dodge in this one, and you go in that one.
I was just on a street where they're, but almost every street here, not an excuse, but everywhere, potholes they're just here. They're just here.
Well, I mean, it's been a long time, and they fixed the one right as you turn onto Marston Street from Church Street. They fixed that one that your truck tire blew out of. They fixed that one, but not another one up the street. And I said, why'd you fix one and here's all these others? You out there with the stuff, put a little bit in it.
Well, why does the maintenance department or Daryl not come to our meetings anymore where we can ask him some of these specific questions?
They don't have to be
Because
in
they
the
don't have
meeting, he don't really have to be in the meeting, but if there's a request that he needs to be here next meeting, I can.
He used to come to all of them.
Yeah, he used to.
come.
Yeah, we found out with changes, who needs to be in the meeting, who have to be, who don't have to be. So with that, if they don't have to be,
Maybe
Well,
we
then
could
take
get
them
some of
over
our
and
questions answered.
Take them off of the thing that they're gonna give a report because they
Well,
never
they
hear.
turn in a report.
report is, they're on the agenda because the report is in the
Oh,
packet.
they give a,
Yeah,
they're,
We have a
you're reading the
report, but-
report.
can't ask him any questions.
Oh, I got
I can,
As well as if we have an issue with a gas leak, because down from Miss Nan Johnson's house, we're smelling gas. We just need to call Sharon.
just call Ms. Sharon, so she can.
Because what I understand is that they have bought the yellow pipe,
Mhm.
but they just hadn't had a chance. And I'm sure there's a lot going on.
Well, I know one thing, they're short. They're short-handed. Mr. Chong is not here, and we didn't fill Mr. Davis's position when he left, so we're two men down anyway.
Yeah, well, Charlie will probably come back, huh?
I don't know if he's coming back up.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's
Last time I talked
retired?
to him- No, he's sick. The last time I talked to him, he's just not coming back right now.
On digital health.
He's not.
Okay. I had one other thing about some loose gravel that's on Old South Drive, but I'll call Sharon and let her know that. You don't want me?
And the trees that we had reported that
Oh.
were growing up in the old fire department gutters, it's been like a year ago.
I think, who was it? Was somebody,
Johnny asked me to get a bid for it, from Leslie Landry.
Okay.
He has a
Somebody
lift
was
truck and all this
getting
kind of
a lift
stuff. He told me where it was, and I told him, I said, you need to write it up, because he was talking like, I think, $250.
Okay.
But I know he could do the front. Now getting to the back, because it's close quarters back there.
Yes.
I don't know how he would get a truck back there.
Yeah, you get,
We can get a truck back there. I
You
don't know
get a
how
truck
close, but we can
But
get
a
one
lift
back
truck?
there. Yeah.
So the job is
You ever been
beyond,
back
How do you, no, being right by the alleyway.
there? No, that's a big yard back there.
there's a big area back there, you can get a truck in there.
Okay, well, not when it's wet.
so the job is bigger
That's
than
the
our
problem.
maintenance
A
guys
lot
can
of
do?
stuff like that.
To get up there, we don't have to.
To get up there, okay. Why didn't you tell us that 10 months ago when we asked you to check it in? We did?
No, I had to ask the fire department if they had a truck to where they could do it, and I don't think they do.
They don't,
But
because those trees have been there for
a while.
2003.
But the trees are about like that tall.
There's been trees growing in there since back then, and they couldn't get them out then.
Yeah, but if you keep the gutters clean, then trees won't grow. And then, with trees or any debris in that gutter, eventually it's gonna rust it out.
That's
And
the
then you
deal.
might have root damage. We just need to be proactive to maintain our physical assets.
Okay. I'm gonna say-
My opinion.
I would say you could rent, we could rent a small man lift to do
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they rent those.
And they're not a couple $100 a day.
Would any of
And
the
use
maintenance people
our
go up
own
in that?
maintenance
Is
people.
or is there a problem with that?
I'll go up in it, I don't care. They give me,
Okay.
I'll go up and do it.
I'm gonna get you a towel.
Whoever goes up in it should be qualified to go up in it.
What does that mean?
Go take a class at the safety council.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna get Leslie to write up a proposal and present it, and if it passes, then we'll get him.
That sounds
Yeah, he
great.
was clean to himself.
I mean, he's very capable.
I got somebody
He's
that's
bonded.
qualified in a 120-foot one. So,
120-foot ladder.
man lift.
Man,
So,
Well, you maybe get him to propose too.
we'll see. Okay.
It just needs to be done. Period.
Okay, moving right along. Mr. Butler is not here tonight.
he's married.
Yes, he's jumping the broom. Yes.
Wait, what? Mr. Button?
Tim.
That's not his wife that comes to the meeting?
Yeah, yeah.
They get married in a church.
He married in a church.
Oh,
Okay.
How long have you been married?
15 years.
okay. No.
They got married, they went off from the slide and got married, and, well, somewhere in Tennessee, I think.
Okay. That's what I was-
Is that his wife?
I thought you, wait a minute,
First
she's
cousin
married.
married.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yes.
she wanted to get married in the church.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
years later?
Yeah,
Jesus.
They renewing their vows.
Okay.
right.
Old business, Miss Angie, you have that with you, right? Yes, business, okay,
Appointments for the zoning commission, we had some names last time, there was 2 people that never got back with me, but we have Mr. Bart Blackledge, we have Mr. Willis Shoemaker Jr., Mr. John Sanders, Miss Lorraine Tapp, Miss Jenny McAdams, and we have Mallory Bell and maintenance superintendent Darren Harrell for filling. The last 2 is for filling in case the other 2 can't come. So those are the updated plans.
Okay, hold on, what page is that on there?
Oh no, these this just the old business in the agenda.
Yeah, but didn't they list them in these, because I asked about them in the minutes?
Well, it was 2 of them we weren't sure.
Okay.
And they were supposed to be getting back with me, but I
Okay.
didn't hear anything back, so we went on with
So now we have,
Mr. Bart.
Uh-huh.
We have Mr. Willis Shoemaker,
Tiger.
Mr. John Sanders, Mrs. Lorraine Tapp, Miss Jenny McAdams.
Lorraine Taft. And Jenny McAdams. So not Pat Muller and not Joy Gardner. Okay. And then the alternates are
Lorraine Hill and Gerald.
Zone commission. For the town.
You know that, we approved it where the snack shack used to be, which is on 10, some gentleman has a welding shop. Whatever it was approved for, can he live there too?
It was approved for 2 storage buildings.
But he lives there.
But can you live there?
I think it was RA anyway, the question was whether they could, no, it was C2 or something.
It's zone C2.
You can live in commercial. It's
You can?
not,
Okay.
Yeah, you can live in commercial.
Yeah.
He's not set up properly and been inspected to be living there. Now, can you spend the night there? You can spend the night anywhere you want to. I know he's still living in Central at times.
And he's out of town.
And he's out of
He's in
town.
town. I think he's back. No. Is he back right now? He usually would shoot me a text when he's
I
back
just wanted
in
to be-
town. Yeah.
Kosher,
You
morning
could
off, right?
legally live in the C2, but he would have to do a lot of things to that structure before he could live in it.
Okay.
And he's done some things inside. I went down there. As far as with
Just have to be tied down a different way.
parade update, Ms. Anderson?
Okay, the Mardi Gras parade will be January 27th at 12 noon. We spoke to the committee and they have agreed to have the police officers in the area, they will pay them, as far as the maintenance department, they will pay them to clean up afterwards.
They all happy?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, maintenance is gonna clean up. I got a letter today from Keep Fishing Beautiful, reminding me that after the 2 high school homecoming parades, the streets were clean real good, and I think they were saying they expect to see the same thing as far as the Mardi Gras parade. So
Why they have it on the 27th of January, Mardi Gras to the 13th of February?
that must be that they gave us.
Oh, I don't care, I was just wondering why it's might seem like might early.
Public comment. Nothing? Administrative matters.
Same.
I just have a question. I have a hard time hearing y'all, and aren't y'all are recording this?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, well, the recorder probably can't hear y'all either.
I'm sorry.
So if everybody would speak up a little bit, it'd probably be recorded better, not just for me, but for y'all's future references.
Sometimes it's better not to hear.
I know sometimes it's better not to, but it's. I mean, it protects you to have this recording it, because you can go back and see what you said and who said what and etc. And I can't even hear it, so I know that's not getting it.
Oh, yes, ma'am, it gets everything.
It picks up,
Yes.
it picks up. That's how she does
No,
her
not when
job.
they mumbling to each other. Don't tell me that. But they just heard me say that, I guess.
Administrative matters. I don't think I have anything. Do I have anything to send you? Okay. Just this is a new year, new trainings and updates and things coming from LMA. I haven't actually read anything. That's a training for the census, which is it's in Baton Rouge. It's gonna be 1 day, 1 or 2 days. And I'll get with Ward knows, I'll let y'all know if somebody wants to go to that training. That's what
What'd you say the training's for?
it's the census, they're having a training this year, and also the midwinter conference with LMA. I looked at the agenda, and they have some new items that some of the things that they're doing, so we're gonna try to be on top of that this year. I wasn't too invested in going mood last year, I don't know why. I usually like going, but it's just, I don't like traveling on, but anyway, we gotta try to stay on top of it, everything that's been changing, some laws that's changing, I'll have to, and I'll let you all know, that's all I have.
I have another question.
Yes, sir.
Clarence Street, is that the one where you turn off of,
Riley, going to the elementary school,
okay, that's Riley?
that's Riley going to
And
the
then
elementary school.
Clarence is the long
Clarence,
street.
right, the long street,
Well, I was down there today and I saw bags of garbage.
oh, by the flowers.
Well, I don't know, it's on, they're on the left-hand side. Does the police jury, waste management, should they be picking that up?
They won't pick it up, I'll ask
Why?
him. I don't know why. At first, he had the stuff there, and Renee, and I talked to him about it, and he bagged it up in black bags. They told me if it was in black bags, they would pick it up.
Yeah.
He bagged it all up in black bags, but then they still wouldn't pick it up. I don't
Well,
know
you
why.
think we could call the police jury and that get them, since they pay for it,
I'll ask.
ask them to talk to the waste management or whoever it is about picking it up, because it's all bagged up.
Yeah, I don't know why they
And
wouldn't.
the police, it may be that they want that a regular pickup stop.
And how do you tell if there's a building or something there, why wouldn't that be a regular pickup stop?
But I mean, I think, is that?
Yeah, it is. His house is, houses, people live there.
Sure.
It's Renee's trailer,
Yeah.
and they won't.
Now,
pick it
right
up.
behind it is like a burn barrel or station or whatever, which you really shouldn't be, but anyway. I just think that if they pick it up and make that neighborhood look a little bit better. Because there's a bunch of abandoned property down there. It's a little trailer right there.
Yeah, I've gotten some phone calls, some people don't live here, and they want, they
Well,
wanna know
if you could.
what should they do with their property?
Yeah, and out here on Liberty Road, they did pick up the,
Police jury.
Well, who picked that up?
Police jury.
although there is a car or something back there. But, did y'all ask them to do that and they did?
We sent them a certified
To the police?
Somebody called it in the police jury, 'cause I
letter.
wouldn't,
Police jury
they didn't know
went
what it was, I wouldn't look at it, took pictures of it and sent it to them. And they picked it up right after that, so.
Yeah.
Who they got to do it, I don't know whether.
Is that adjudicated property?
The police jury.
I don't know whether.
No,
Police
no,
jury,
no, it haven't
picked
been
up or
adjudicated.
waste management.
Police jury.
Okay.
So, yeah, because one of the police officers was there, watching the traffic while he was picking up.
Okay, good. I knew I went and looked at it for them, but I didn't know.
Yeah, I would think, I would hope that maybe we could get some help like on Bayou Street. I think that's the name of it. That's where, Kenny Sanders, Kenny Ray's parent had a house or something. Of course, there's a lot of debris from that trailer that they're dismantling, but hadn't
They
finished.
started and they didn't finish. And then those two houses further around, I've been in touch with
Around the
that
curve.
owner.
Yeah, they're from New
And
Orleans.
she's not cooperating too well.
She being ugly?
She ended up being ugly.
Is she paying the taxes?
The last I knew she was,
But we're going through
but
condemnation
we going through
proceedings on
we
that.
going
And,
through, Russ is helping me with that, and some people are gonna get some very, 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 very ugly letters, so. And
But
we're
if
gonna
you could-
actually be doing, we're gonna actually,
Can you levy that if we pay for it?
yes, that's the ordinance, yes.
Good.
It could be, this process for us to go in and tear it down
Right,
and the cost be assessed to the property.
Well, it should be.
because we've been nice, we've sent out letters and we've asked them to come to mayor's court, but I guess they think we're playing. So, Mr. Hicks and I, We have a plan.
This is a house on Bayou?
It's a two-story.
it's a two-story and
duplex.
then another house beside it.
Almost
but
at
it
the
all
corner of
belongs to
Bayou
the
and
same,
Clarence, on the far end of Bayou, where it turns back to Clarence.
Past Allison?
Yeah.
Has who?
Allison?
Yes, keep on going around, across from, where the tenant uses mom live at, and then that house across, like from Mr. J. Patrice, those two places. It's
I'm
behind
sure the
that
people
farm.
down in that area would appreciate it being clean. Because to me, it's just a haven for
We're gonna,
We're
it is.
working on it.
things to
We're
go
working on
back.
it. We're working on it. It's got,
We got a big list.
that's the aggressor right
So
there.
that's not the only ones.
No.
That's the Hicks going down.
And how would come in with the property tax collections, do y'all have an idea?
Oh, we're coming good. I think we're like, me and, Tim was looking at it today. I think we're from maybe 14,000.
Well, that's good. Did Bailey ever pay?
He hadn't paid for the last
The
quarter
last
yet,
quarter.
but And then we
And
are
you
also,
also-
and Mr. Griffin spoke, and we also working on Dish and Direct TV.
Because they are paying, so they just have to
They are
get out.
paying.
What about the railroad? Do they pay yet, or do you know?
I don't know if the railroad pay, but it's not as much as it was before.
Okay.
Very.
We need all the money we can get.
Yes.
Just write a check.
Just write a check.
I'll accept it and I'll give it to them.
No, you write.
I can write all day long.
What about the law we talked about getting to do the roads? Any more come in on that?
Okay, I'm sorry, I did speak with Nikki and they're getting ready to, do the second phase of the sewer rehab project. So once she get here, what she did tell me as far as to get the USDA loan for the streets, and she's gonna need the consensus of the board, saying that she can go ahead and do that, and that won't be a problem. So when she come in, probably won't be next week, the week after, when we start that second phase of the sewer project, then she'll,
We're talking about all the streets, right?
all,
okay.
everything that haven't been done, yes, everything.
That's the only thing I'm saying about pothole problem. We don't waste time filling them holes up to their time.
Well, that knows that they did on Silver Street's got a sinkage going on,
And then Clarence Street has one as well,
does it?
right, yeah.
I wonder if the sewer system's leaking.
No,
This time of year, if you fill the potholes and it got any kind
No,
of
this isn't a
moisture.
pothole, this is at that road, Silliman up at the, where Silliman and Oak Street meet. And they always had like sinkholes, there's two of them, I think.
no, there's one fail, no. But that ain't never sunk right where that one is. There's a culvert that goes across the road right there. I don't know if that culvert's got a hole in it or what caused it. It's got the fire meter and then there's a culvert that goes catty-corner across that
If there's a,
across the road. And that's where that sinkhole's right there where that culvert is.
It's like a big old dimple,
Oh,
belly
yeah,
button.
You know, I stopped and looked at it. I didn't probe around anywhere, nothing.
You might end up down in
I
there.
don't know.
Mark, I was wondering about that gravel on Old South too. That can't be good for that new.
That's coming out of the driveway, that's why.
Yeah.
I know,
I'm gonna call tomorrow and talk to Sharon and let her know that.
but would it hurt? I mean, it does hurt it, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, people's windows could be broken, what have you, but it's debris on the road. It's a pea gravel is what it is.
Who lives there in that house now?
I don't know who lives in the two-story
That's
house,
the AG's old house.
right? But it was in their driveway, and I think from a mass rain.
Right, every time it
Pea gravel.
Yeah,
Yeah, it washes out.
it washes out into the road. But I was just gonna call Sharon tomorrow. Maybe they can sweep it, whatever they do.
Or tell them to sweep their own driveway.
They're nice people, I don't know them, but I've met them.
They probably need to put some big gravel in there to keep them washing.
I hate people.
some of the drains, big gravel washed out.
Yeah, I know.
If nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I so moved.
Motion by Alderman Kemp,
Second.
second by Alderman Donovan. Ready to vote, all in favor? Motion is carried. Meeting is adjourned.